Switch off your mobile phones and keep them in silent mode. I'll give you 10 seconds to do that. Please give me a thumbs up once you are done. Okay. I should not hear any of the noises coming in between. Now, when we are talking on stage, please be mindful when talking about sex, religion, or politics because these are very sensitive topics. When the speaker is speaking on stage, please don't move inside the hall or enter or exit the hall only during the applause. Please, please follow handshake or fist bump when entering or exit the stage. Refreshments will be available during the time of break. Restrooms are available. Just exit the room, go straight, walk down the alley. In the end, you will find restrooms. Just go according to your gender. Now, it's time to introduce the presiding officer for the day. She is a true Toastmaster champion. She is the winner of International Speech Contest, Table Topic Contest, and the first runner-up of District 92. She has served as a club coach, club mentor, and continues to guide and inspire with her unwavering dedication. She is also the conference co-chair for Crescendo 2026 and the proud president of Bright Hearts Toastmaster Club. Beyond the title, she is someone who is always calm, ever smiling, and the first person which I look for whenever I am on stage. A sports enthusiast, a motivator, and a co-founder of Bright Hearts Toastmaster, she has won not just the title, not just the awards, but the hearts of every Bright Heart. Please help me welcome distinguished Toastmaster, Queen of Bright Hearts, Arundhati Basu.
Good evening. Looks like the lights at the back is dim, so is the energy. So let's try once more. Good evening. That sounds much better. Thank you everyone for joining us at the Bright Hearts Toastmasters meeting today in spite of the weather. Like you heard from our Sergeant at Arms, Toastmasters International is a non-profit organization which functions under the tagline where leaders are made. That is because Toastmasters International constantly serves to ensure that the basic skills of communication and leadership are instilled into every member. With a global spread of around 270,000 members, it spans across 150 countries. In our country, which is India, Bright Hearts Toastmasters is a community Toastmasters club which is part of the southern Karnataka and Kerala district. Here we have people from all different walks of life who come in to explore a safe space to try and build their communication skills through experimentation, mentorship, and making the best use of this stage. Over the last 12 months since our chartering, Bright Hearts has of course won the hearts of many people. We've also achieved several awards and we've also been the proud recipient of the highest international award presented by Toastmasters International, which is the status of a President's Distinguished Club. We do have a few first-time guests in our audience today, and we would love to know you. So this is what we'll do. We'll call you on the stage. You can come here, tell us your name, what do you do, and how did you get to know about Bright Hearts? Shall we start with you?
So, hi everyone, good evening. So, thanks for giving me a chance to come onto the stage and introduce about myself. So my name is Subham Kumar Jaiswal. Basically, I belongs from Odisha, and here I'm working as a software engineer in Bajaj Finserv company. So one of my colleague name is Tianshu Parmar. He used to tell me about this, and thank you. That's all about me.
Shubham, right? Shubham, thank you for joining us. Bajaj Finserv touches the life of almost everybody, especially when I wanted zero interest products, right? So likewise, your dear friend Twinshu has definitely touched the life of all the bright hearts, and we are so glad he got you here. I hope you enjoy. Thank you. Sanjana, shall we have you?
Hi, everyone. My name is Sanjana Rani, and I'm originally from Goa. And I came to know about Toastmasters because my friend Neville is part of it, and he used to always boast about it. And how he told me, like, at least once I need to be there and see how it is and how it feels and what is his experience. So finally, after like a month of roasting about it, today I am here just to know. And it's good to see such happy faces, basically. So thank you so much for me. I'm like, I don't know what to say, but thank you so much.
Right. Thank you. Thank you, Sanjana. The minute you said I am from Goa, everybody went and they'll be like, oh, next vacation destination. We'll do a Bright Hearts meeting in Goa. And that you have to attend, Sanjana. But I'm glad Neville's finally been able to convince you to come here. But I can assure you that by the end of the meeting, you would agree with him that you made the right decision to come here. That's something that's on us. We'll make Neville proud, isn't it? Right. So we got one. Would you like to come on stage? No.
Yeah. Hello everyone. Is it working?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm Manjarika. I am a software engineer in Toshiba. I just searched Toastmasters near me and found out about this group.
Thank you so much, Manjarika. Is that right? Yes. Thank you, Manjarika, for joining us. Firstly, we are extremely glad that you searched Toastmasters nearby and you found us, which means we are directionally correct. And secondly, I'm so glad to hear you work for Toshiba. This is a place where a very close friend of mine worked for several years. So I've always associated Toshiba to some of close friends. So I'm so glad to have you here. Great. So for all the guests who have joined us for our meeting today, I can assure you that you have made the brightest decision of your Sunday today, because we will give you that experience and make your lives a little more brighter, because the bright way is the bright hearts way. Right. Okay. So on that note, I hereby open meeting number 40 of Bright Hearts Toastmasters. Today, we mark a special occasion in our meeting. We have the opportunity to induct 5 new members who've chosen Bright Hearts as their new Toastmasters family into our family. So we will today start with the member induction ceremony first. To conduct the member induction ceremony today, we have someone who is one of our original charter member. She's also our youngest member. Although a Gen Z, she knows exactly how to boss around all the millennials, right? That is her USP. A student of St. Joseph's College, she's often made us proud through her speeches and her incredible journey so far. She served as the Vice President Public Relations for Bright Hearts for the last 12 months and is currently serving as the Vice President Membership of the club. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome our induction officer today, Toastmaster Arna Gupta. You can pass it to me after your book.
Good evening, Bright Hearts, Toastmasters members, and soon-to-be members. Induction ceremonies in Toastmaster are an ephemeral but impactful moment for not only the members and our club. So without further ado, let's begin. Fellow Toastmasters, it is now our duty and privilege to induct 5 new members into the Bright Hearts Toastmasters Club. This is an important occasion, both for these new members and for our club. These individuals have come to Toastmasters seeking to improve their communication and leadership skills. And we now have an opportunity to help them learn, grow, and achieve their goals. I will now call on our new members. Please withhold the applause until the ceremony is completed. So first, we have a software professional with a passion for running, badminton, swimming, as well as trekking and paragliding. So basically all categories of sports. Welcome, Toastmasters Saumil Gupta. I see that our excitement has drowned our hearing. Second, we have a technology product leader who is an aspiring vocalist, avid traveler, and a fitness enthusiast, basically perfectly fitting into our existing Bright Hearts family. Welcome, Toastmaster Pranav Kumar Singh. Third, we have a certified yoga instructor with a diploma in Bharatanatyam. She is a business analyst who also loves experimenting with recipes. Welcome, Toastmaster Vibha. I have officially given up on the applause. A quality assurance tester who enjoys listening to music and has a fascination for YouTube. Welcome, Toastmaster Akashti. And last but not least, we have a real estate consultant who, when not building concrete jungles, enjoys anime, exploring cities, and trekking. So perfect for Bangalore. Welcome, Toastmaster Akshay. Dear members, you're joining a worldwide organization that has helped millions of people to learn to communicate more effectively. As members of the Bright Hearts Toastmasters Club, you will benefit from a proven program of self-development. You will become part of an outstanding group of people who are dedicated to helping one another in the spirit of sharing and enjoyment. Mr. Vice President of Education, have these new members been given the opportunity to discuss their needs and goals with the club? Have they been told about how Toastmaster program works and informed of the many benefits they will receive, as well as the obligations of membership?
Yes.
Who has or have been assigned as the mentors for these new members? As experienced Toastmasters, you have been asked to help these new members get off to a good start. Do you accept this responsibility and pledge to share your knowledge and experience with our new members so that they can immediately begin to benefit from their Toastmasters membership? You can take your seats. Membership in this club and in Toastmasters International is a privilege that carries with it many rewards. Yet, it also places certain obligations upon you. We are a group of people brought together to do things we could not accomplish on our own. Our collective obligation is to grow and improve ourselves and to share our knowledge and experience with fellow members in the spirit of enjoyment. This means you must work diligently towards your own self-development and evaluate other people's speeches in a spirit of support and sharing. Assist the club in reaching its goal and remain positive. We ask you, our new members, to dedicate yourselves to personal growth, to share this great gift with your fellow members, and to help keep this Toastmaster Club a strong and dynamic. Please affirm your membership by repeating the following words. I, your name? In the presence of my fellow Toastmasters members, of the Bright Hearts Toastmasters Club, make this firm obligation to attend meetings regularly and prepare fully for each assignment, to apply myself to the projects outlined in the Toastmasters educational program, to participate actively in club activities, to evaluate others in a positive, constructive manner, to build open, friendly relationships with my fellow members, and to bring others, new members into the club so that they can also gain the benefits of Toastmasters. Would all of our Bright Heart members please stand and repeat our club's pledge to our new members? Please repeat after me. We, the members of Bright Hearts Toastmasters Club, pledge to support you in your quest for self-development, to provide you with positive, helpful evaluations, to maintain a friendly, supportive atmosphere, to give you opportunities to help others, and to make your Toastmasters membership a rewarding and fulfilling experience. Welcome to the family. You may take your seats. Bright Heart. Thank you for your cooperation. And with that, I'll hand the stage back to our presiding officer.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Arna, for that induction ceremony. And once again, to Vibha, Pranav, Somil, Akshay, and Akash, welcome to the Bright Hearts family. We are looking forward to your Toastmasters journey and wishing you all the very best for your time ahead. On that note, we will now get started with our meeting. Our theme today says, Depth of reading, from pages to pixels, are we losing more than just books? I personally am very curious to see what this meeting unfolds. I am very old school. I still read a physical newspaper every day in the morning at home, and I prefer reading a paperback book at night under the reading lamp. But I have friends who are extremely voracious e-book readers. I also have friends who nowadays scan the long editorial section of a newspaper and ask Google's Gemini to translate and summarize it for them. So that is why personally I feel that today's meeting is going to be much beyond just pages and pixels and something more to do with our habit of reading as individuals. And who better to conduct this session than this member of ours? He is the founder of the fastest growing book club in Bangalore called Humble Bumble Book Club. He is the 6-time podium finisher at district contest and is the proud winner of the international speech contest as well as the evaluation contest at the district level. A software professional, he is a dear mentor to all of us at Club and the co-founder of Bright Hearts Toastmasters. I am looking forward to what he has to unfold. Ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Akshay Omen.
Thank you, everyone, for that warm reception. Thank you, Arundhati, for that lovely introduction, as always. Just a correction, reading paperbacks isn't being old school, it's being old. But in your defense, I'm in your category as well, so it's fine. An American study in 2022 showed that 48% of American adults read only one book for pleasure every year. Not just only one book, up to one book. What does that mean? That means the remaining 52% goes an entire year without reading at all. And this is one of the most developed countries in the world. In 2024, a survey was done in the UK which highlighted that children within the age of 8 to 18 are having a bit of a crisis. 34% of children in that category enjoy reading as a hobby. Only 34%. The lowest it's ever been since 2005. Gradually, we are shifting from a society that centered itself once on reading and literature and the permanence of books to the ephemeral nature of scrolling and Netflix. And that's not all. A recent study in 2024 showed that among US teenagers, only 14% of them read daily. 14% US teenagers. Let's apply that in this room, supposedly. And let's suppose we are a little lower in the rungs in terms of reading. If we were to apply that statistic in this room with about 30 odd people, that means in this room right now, there are only 3 people who read daily. Shocking, yet very believable, isn't it? Today, we are going to tackle a very profound question. That question being, is reading dying? But what better way to find out if reading is dying than by reading ourselves? This is what's going to happen. I'm going to show you all an excerpt of a story on these slides. I request you all to silently, quietly read it without talking to anyone next to you until this activity is over. Sounds good? You ready to read? The time starts now. I know what you all are thinking. 37 seconds. 37 seconds was the time given to each and every one of you to read that paragraph. This is a reading speed of 375 words per minute, which is only available to 20 to 25% of the reading population. What does that mean? It means that in this room, most of us probably didn't finish it. And even if we did, we probably didn't comprehend it fully. But let's find out. And I'm going to go now and ask you all 3 questions, starting with, and yeah, ignore that. Who holds the young woman back at the start of the story? Raise your hand. Yes, Madhav. Her father is correct. What does the father's final action symbolize in the story? Yes, Abhishek. Little vague, more specific. Prakash. Right. Okay. What deeper message does the moment on the train platform convey about love and fear? Great, but not the answer. Let people choose their own path. Fair enough, fair enough. I think all of us got some gist, some basic ideas. Keywords were missing. But the main question I want all of you to ask yourselves here is, what was your reading experience? There are a few of us here, a handful, for whom this was a cakewalk. But for most of us in 2025, reading that paragraph in 37 seconds is a struggle. So this meeting is a wake-up call. Not just for me, but for all of us. And the entire meeting is going to be centered around how the death of reading is slowly bringing about the death of empathy, the death of patience and depth, and the death of our brain. Morbid, isn't it? On that note, let me begin by telling you all what the meeting structure for today's meeting is going to look like. For guests who are attending for the very first time, we're going to start with a prepared speech section where 3 lovely members of Bright Hearts Toastmasters will be coming on stage to deliver speeches from their Toastmasters education curriculum. After that, we will have a 20-minute break. Shortly after the 20-minute break, there will be a 20-minute table topic session where members and guests can come on the stage and take up a topic on the fly and speak on it. Finally, we end this meeting with the evaluation section spearheaded by our general evaluator, who will evaluate the entire proceedings of the meeting, including me, and give us all feedback. On that note, let me go ahead and call on stage the general evaluator for the day. Please give a huge round of applause for Toastmaster Sayuj Varghese.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. I'm your general evaluator for today. I don't go by the books. I just killed my general evaluator script last night, and I decided to do me. So raise of hands, how many of you have never attended a wedding? Okay, great. So in a wedding, you've seen this photographer, the wedding photographer, who keeps lurking around, taking pictures, creating memories, especially those when you're eating. And then spotlight hit. Give me the spoon. He captures all those memories and then gives it to the family. General evaluator is something like that. I would be sitting and observing the meeting, taking down notes, and during the evaluation section, I will be providing the good, the better, and feedback on what can be done to make the meeting better than the best if it is not already. And I can't do this alone. I have a tag team to help me do that. Tags team, which is timer, R-counter, grammarian, and a special role player. So I would like to call on my tag team one by one and have them introduce the role, starting with the timer. One who wanted to commute in Bangalore on a broom, but unfortunately his university application to Hogwarts was lost somewhere. Toastmaster Somil.
Hello, everyone. So yesterday I was laying on my bed and I was watching YouTube. And there came a video title stating that curious minds unlocking infinite possibilities. And I thought, like, maybe this is the secret sauce to become the smartest. So I opened the video. It was a 30 minutes long video. Within first minute, the guy was shouting that you should be curious. You should ask a lot of questions. And at 1 minute, 30 seconds, I was convinced. Yeah, he's right. And exactly after 2 minutes, there was a reel recommendation on my video, on my YouTube, which said, did you know what? And as you guys know that I'm a curious person. So I asked myself, did I know what? So I opened the video and it said that goats can change their accent according to the social group they are present in, which means that they can have a different accent according to goats they like and dislike. Sounds familiar, right? Does this information make any sense? No, right? But I spent 1 hour going through all the reels and gathering all this unnecessary information. And just to realize after 1 hour that I wasted a lot of time. And then I wished only if there was someone to tell me that, Somil, you have to stop right now. Yesterday, there was no one for me, but today I'm here as your timer to tell you when to stop. I will quickly go through the rules. For the table topic speaker, at 1 minute, I will raise the green card. At 1 minute, 30 seconds, I will raise the yellow card. And at 2 minutes, I will raise the red card. For prepared speech, the timing is 5 to 7 minutes. At 5 minutes, I will raise the green card. At 6 minutes, I will raise the yellow card. And at 7 minutes, I will raise the red card. For individual evaluations, timing is 2 to 3 minutes. At 2 minutes, I will raise the green card. At 2 minutes, 30 seconds, I will raise the yellow card. And at 3 minutes, I will raise the red card. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Somil. And just one more info. There's a 30-second grace period given for the speeches. And please make sure you wrap up before that. Okay, now the next is the R counter. So she is someone who still believes in fairy tales. And she still dances to Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs musical. Toastmaster Vibha.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sarij, for the introduction. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and dear guest. Imagine you are lost in an exciting book. The tension is just rising, and the pages are developing towards a huge secret. Your heart is pounding. And just then, someone walks by and asks, "Hey, have you seen my charger?" You then focus on your book. But they come again. "Hey, would you like to come out for tea?" This time you take a really long, deep breath and again focus on your book, but they won't stop. "Hey, wait, watch this. This is so hilarious." How would you feel? distracted, slipped out of the moment, right? Just like that, distractions can sneak in your speech, not as an interruption by others, but in the form of basically, actually, etc. These ephemeral distractions can lose the essence from your speech. So these CRPF words, okay, so for the people who are unaware about the CRPF terms, C stands for crutch sounds like etc. R stands for repetitions that are adding no value to your speech. P stands for pauses that are longer ones, unintentional, and awkward ones. Filler words. F stands for filler words, like basically, actually, like that. As the counter of this meeting today, I will be keeping a track of all the CRPF word usages. And I request all the role takers and speakers to be very mindful about the CRPF words and keep it minimal. I will be back with my report at the end of the meeting when called by General Evaluator. Thank you, and back to you, Toastmaster Sailesh.
Thank you, Toastmaster Vibha. So the third player is the grammarian. So he is someone who loves reading, but then he gets distracted by his phone. And then his book turns into a coaster for his late night coffee. Toastmaster Pranav.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters. Thanks, Sayuj, for the introduction. I am the grammarian for this today's meeting. So everybody knows the importance of grammar. I think it goes without saying how important it is in our day-to-day usage. Let me, without telling more about how important it is in our speeches, talk about the Instagram and the TikToks, because that's what our theme is for today. In today's era, when people are using so much of social media, content consumption, what makes actually a content more engaging? What makes a content get more likes, get more shares? Any guesses? One among the several nuggets around there, which might include originality of the content, maybe the depth of the content, the very important piece is the credibility of the content. And what makes the content credible? Among several other things which can be possible, which is like you cite the right source from where you are creating the content, the important piece is the grammar. In fact, the ranking algorithms of platforms like LinkedIn, Facebook, when somebody shares a textual content, ranks by the quality of the content, which includes the grammar as well. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's how important is the grammar, not only in our day-to-day usage, but also in our social media and in this era of following Instagram, TikTok, etc. So I, as a grammarian, will be monitoring the right usage, right usage of English today, and I'll be noting down all of those. I'll be also monitoring the improper usage of English and would be suggesting what could have been the right way. And most importantly, I'll be monitoring the usage of the word of the day. So what is the word of the day? Well, thanks to a lot of speakers who have already spoken the word of the day, which is ephemeral. What does ephemeral mean? First of all, before going to the meaning, how do we pronounce ephemeral? It starts with UH, so it's pronounced as ephemeral. The meaning is something which is temporary in nature. Today, here, gone tomorrow. How can we use that in our day-to-day usage? Well, a nosy or a picky team leader in a software world can say his team that let's avoid ephemeral fixes and focus towards the long-term solution. A child who is very much liking vacations and maybe his holidays can say his mom that, Mom, the vacation experiences are so ephemeral in nature. I would urge you to go take me to several other vacations in the future. So these are few usages of this word, and I hope that we all would use this word of the day and decorate our speeches around ephemeral. So I'll be presenting my report when I will be called upon by the general evaluator, and will be sharing with you with the good usage, bad usage, and the usage of ephemeral words in today's meeting. Over to the general evaluator. Oh, sorry.
Thank you, Toastmaster Pranav. Now, my last team member is the special role, and he is the joke master today. So he gets up in the morning, and first thing that he does is reads his Microsoft Teams messages. Toastmaster Ilongo.
Thank you, Sayuj. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters, my dear guest. As a joke master, I'm going to try to laugh you to lighten your heart. Let's closely watch me. Okay. Some of the serious people, they will never laugh, even though whatever the funny things happen around them. Like Rama fell down while impressing his girlfriend. Like Rama fell down while impressing his girlfriend. Like that. So many people are around. Like, I'm going to love you with full of your heart, with your mind, to lighter and to happier. I'm going to make this kind of small story to love you when called upon by general evaluator. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ilongo. Well, I can't do that. So with that, I will come back with a report, me and my team, during the evaluation section, and I hand the stage back to our Toastmaster of the day, Akshay.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Sayuj. On that note, let's get back to the depth of reading, and specifically the depth of empathy. Now, when we read fiction, we're not just getting into the words, we're getting into the shoes of the different characters. We feel their thoughts, we feel their emotions. Raise your hands if you've ever read Harry Potter. Okay. So all of you who have raised your hands, remember the first time you read The Sorcerer's Stone, the misery you felt seeing Harry go through the torture of the Dursleys, his step-parents, right? Through books, we find an avenue to empathize with the marginalized groups and the marginalized sections of society. It helps building what is referred to as cognitive empathy. And when you are someone who knows how to feel for others, you're more likely to fight for social justice. You're more likely to fight for healthcare. And most importantly, you're more likely to fight for human rights. Something which is sorely missing in this day and age. You don't have to memorize these titles here. These are all titles of studies which have been done to show how reading more is directly linked to making you a more empathetic person. And if you've seen the last article here, it's literally called Harry Potter and Reduction in Prejudice. A study done which shows how people who read Harry Potter are seen to be more empathetic with the problems of society. Fascinating. Here are a list of some books which you can consider reading if you want to build your empathy. Can you raise your hand if you've read at least one book on this list? Okay, That's great. There are a fair few popular ones, the most popular one being The Kite Runner by Khalid Hosseini. But you should read these books. I most recently read The Book of Disappearance by Ibtisam Azam. Very fascinating. Ibtisam Azam is a Palestinian journalist, a woman. She wrote a book about, and get this, it's a book wherein one fine morning, Israel wakes up to find that all the Palestinians have disappeared. No explanation. Every Israeli Jew wakes up to find that every single Israeli Arab has vanished. And now they try to figure out how to move on with life. Interesting premise, isn't it? With that, let me introduce the first evaluator for the day. Please welcome on stage Deepak Kumar.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests.
Good evening.
And a special good evening to Prakash Sahu, who is my speaker, whom I have to evaluate. And Prakash Sahu, it's very coincidental that last time also I was your evaluator. So without further ado, Prakash Sahu is attempting his level 1 project 2. So Icebreaker was project 1, and then this is the project 2. Which pathway you have chosen? Engaging humor. So that is the pathway, engaging humor. I wish you all the very best and look forward to engaging humor now.
Thank you so much, Deepak. On that note, let's get into some engaging humor. Please welcome on stage our first speaker for the day, Toastmaster Prakash Sahu. Prakash Sahu, self-discovery with solo traveling. Self-discovery with solo traveling, Prakash Sahu.
Have you ever felt the urge to pack your bags, leave everything behind, and embark on a journey alone? Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. Today, I want to share with you how solo traveling has been a transformative experience for me, leading to a profound self-discovery. So, how did my journey of solo traveling started? Well, my best college friend Krishna Gaurav, whom I used to call KG, started getting bored from his corporate job. I hope sometimes we also. So he decided to resign and started his own company. He started his own company with few employees, but it was a struggle for him. Over the time, it impacted his peace of mind and happiness. Then he traveled to Rishikesh, widely known as yoga capital of the world. He spent few weeks there, and on his return, I observed many positive changes in him. He was more calm, happy, and most important, having the positive attitudes towards life. Someday in September 2018, some random thought came into my mind. I started thinking, what is the purpose of life? This thought started bothering me. Then I remember my friend's journey to Rishikesh. I talked to my friend Krishna, and on his advice, I decided to spend some time in Rishikesh. After 2 months, on 18th November, I packed my bag, booked the ticket, and started with first ever solo traveling to Rishikesh. It was an amazing experience for me. I spent some time in yoga, meditation. I witnessed vibrant Ganga Aarti at world famous ashram Parmarth Niketan. I was so impressed with that ashram and the place that I named my elder son as Parmarth and the younger son as Rishi. Later, my wife changed the name of my elder son to Pranav while applying for the passport. I still don't know why. I roam around Rishikesh and experience the beauty and the positive energy of that place. I explore beautiful Patna waterfalls. I visited world famous Nilkant temple. After that, uh, this first solo traveling gave me courage and confidence to explore the new places on my own. As a solo traveler, I visited many places in the India. All these solo traveling has given me many valuable lessons of life. Number one, solitude and reflection. In the hustle and bustle of daily life, we rarely get time to reflect. Solo traveling gave perfect opportunity to disconnect and introspect. Hiking through a dense forest or sitting to a serene lake, I found clarity and a deep understanding of myself. Number two, stepping out of comfort zone. Solo traveling pushed me outside of my comfort zone, whether it's trying a new food in Darjeeling or engaging with locals in Kerala or tackling unexpected challenges in Goa. All these events taught me resilience and adaptability. The third lesson it taught me is about discovering passion and interest. When you are alone, you have the freedom to pursue what interests you, whether it's photography, reading, writing, or even exploring new cultures. Right? Solo traveling give you opportunity to find your passion and nurture it without any external influences. This first solo traveling, this first solo travel gave me clarity on my purpose of life, which is serving humanity. This purpose wakes me every morning with a positive energy to do the things which serves humanity directly or indirectly. After this trip, I also got a habit of regular reading. I make sure that before going to bed, I read at least 30 minutes. With my experience, I can say solo traveling is not just about exploring new places. It's about exploring yourself. It's a journey of self-discovery that teaches you independence, resilience, and the most important, the beauty of solitude. So I encourage each of you to take that leap of faith and embark on a solo adventure. And in case if you're thinking for the answer to the question, should I go for it? Let me tell you, go for it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Prakash, how many of you here enjoy solo traveling? Raise your hands. That's great, quite a fair few. I have done my fair bit of solo traveling, but over the years, I've kind of realized that traveling isn't for me. First of all, I have massive aerophobia, which has gotten worse because of recent incidents. Second of all, I've realized that every time I travel to outside places, the only thing I do is read. I barely step out, I barely visit places. So I totally agree with you in that when you travel outside, you learn the purpose of life. By traveling outside, I learned my purpose is not to travel. This is insane. The death of patience and the death of depth. There was a theory postulated by a man named Nicholas Carr. It's called the shallowing hypothesis. It vaguely states that in this day and age, we are so inclined towards fast-paced visual media that we no longer have it in us to explore anything with depth, with nuance, with patience. The shallowing hypothesis is mentioned in his book called What the Internet is Doing to Our Brains. And it states that the constant interaction with hyperlinked, fast-paced visual content is rewiring the brain to favor speed over depth. How many of you are on YouTube? I'm sure all of you explore YouTube every now and then. And don't you hate it when the video starts with an unskippable ad? Right? And what's the first thing we do when we don't see the skip ad option? We reload, get YouTube Red, right? Premium subscription. But what does that tell us? I'm a 90s kid, right? I grew up in a time where it was okay to wait one day for an MP3 song to download. But now we live in an age where we can't even sit through a 30-second ad because our brains are so wired to getting everything we need right now. We are losing the ability to be patient. In fact, further studies show that if you are able to read long literary works, long books for consistent stretches, you are likely to be a person with higher cognitive patience. On the other hand, if you are someone who skims through newspapers, skims through books, skims through your team chats, it's very likely you may have a little lower patience. So the next time you see an advertisement on YouTube that's unskippable, the problem isn't the ad. The problem is us. Please welcome our second evaluator on stage, Toastmaster Madhur Patle.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Akshay. Good evening, fellow Toastmaster and dear guest. And special good evening to my target speaker, Vishnu. Today, Toastmaster Vishnu will be attempting Level 2 Project 1, and the purpose of this project is to identify for him his primary leadership style or styles. The purpose of the project is to discuss the aspect of his primary leadership style or leadership style in general. With that, I wish you all the best. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you so much, Madhur. Before I introduce the speaker on stage, I just realized I have to show the recommendations as well. I'm 100% sure people have read at least one book on this list. Raise your hands if you've read at least one book. I have a feeling I know which book that is. But do explore all the other options as well. Of Mice and Men by John Steinbeck, one of my favorite books. You should definitely check it out. And before I introduce Vishnu, we're going to do something fun. We're going to read. And your time starts now. What breed of dog was Bruno? No. Nikhil. Golden Retriever is absolutely right. Why did Ravi stop walking for a few days? And I'm going to need some specificity in this answer. Why did Ravi stop walking for a few days? Non-role takers only. Yes, Sneha.
Heart was weakening and he was also disheartened that Bruno's life was.
Fair answer. Absolutely. Take that. Wonderful. Wonderful. Comprehension. Comprehension is key and the essence is in the details. Finally, what emotions does the story evoke through the final scene, and how does Ravi's routine reflect his bond with Bruno? In my defense, I did give everyone 60 seconds for this one. And I'm not going to really necessarily sort after an answer here, but it's definitely something to reflect on, right? Think about your answers to yourselves to this very last question and ask yourself, how right did you get it? Did you fully comprehend the story? Okay. On that note, let me introduce the next speaker on stage. Please welcome Toastmaster Vishnu Pradeep. Vishnu Pradeep, a definition or a formula? A definition or a formula, Vishnu Pradeep.
Sing, we sing the glory of St. Thomas, St. Thomas, St. Thomas, St. Thomas. Assembly dispersed. Students can move to their respective classes. Good evening, bright hearts, Toastmasters, dear guest. As that assembly got over, I was curious to know who made that announcement. It was the head boy. For me, it was not really the announcement. It was the position he held. The one who had that privilege of being on stage, who always got that front row seats in the school bus, wearing special badges, and moreover, that universal respect of being a school leader. From that day onwards, I looked up to every head boy as my role model. Years went by. The thought of me becoming a school leader stood alive. That made me once ask my teacher, "Teacher, how can I become a head boy?" To which she responded, "Vishnu, it is simple. Be visible. First, you prove that you exist in the class. Okay?" There I was. From that day onwards, I started participating in everything. If my teacher asked that question, I'll raise my hand. Did I know the answer? No. If there was a competition, I'll participate there. Did I win? None. But all these were fueling my visibility. And the results followed. 8th standard, assistant house captain. 9th standard, prefect. 10th standard, finally, the dream role, the head boy. Ladies and gentlemen, this be visible style of leadership, which was born in my childhood as a desire of recognition, was my first taste of leadership. From there, wherever I went, I carried that along with me. It really worked well when I worked as an individual contributor at TCS during my initial part of my career. I slowly started growing in my corporate ladder. Team leader, assistant manager, started leading teams. While managing teams as well, I made sure I was visible. As I had efficient team along with me, results kept coming. And that made me believe that being visible is the formula. And also, leadership is a formula. One day, my team got assigned with a complex task. And my mantra of being visible stood the same. Wherever it was required, I picture painted a perfect project status. One day, my manager asked me to come to his cabin. I walked in, expecting a recognition. But what I got instead was escalation. My project didn't meet its deadline. For certain tasks where it met deadlines, it didn't meet quality guidelines. Soon, all of them started blaming me. None of them from my team stood for me. That day onwards, I realized that being visible individually, being an autocratic leader, will not help me solve this complex situation where I will require inputs from each and every one. I started changing. I sought different perspectives. I shifted from I to we. Slowly, I started seeing the results. My team, who was once underperforming, started to contribute, breathe, deliver, and lead within their own roles. And the journey continued. When I joined Deloitte as a service delivery manager, I was asked to lead a team of 30 members, which included interns, experienced team members, which even had IIM graduates. Me, who barely passed BTech in mechanical engineering, managing IIMs. As I navigated through this situation, I realized that one size fits for all will not work here. I changed my leadership to that situation it's coming by being an empathetic leader. Whenever I felt someone needs to be heard or understood to nurture their talent, I became that aggressive leader whenever I need to make sure that tight deadlines are met. And I made sure that I was the last person to leave the party just to make sure that my team feels that if you work hard, you have to party harder. Slowly, I started realizing being responsive to the situations is the definition of leadership. But the journey thereafter proved that it's above and beyond that. Today, I stand in front of you, heading Amazon's information security, governance, risk, and compliance team with team members across the globe. And I feel I've come a long way. From that, be visible head boy. From that, I am the good individual contributor at TCS. From that, empathetic, aggressive, party-loving leader at Deloitte. Each phase was necessary. Each phase taught me leadership lessons, which shaped me what I am today. Can I say that I'm ready for anything which is coming in the future? Not at all. Because that's the true essence of leadership. Toastmasters, future Toastmasters, leaders, future leaders. Wherever you are in your journey today, I want to leave you with this thought. Leadership is not just a formula. Leadership is not just a definition. Leadership is a journey which evolves with time and experience. Toastmaster of the day.
Very inspirational, very moving. Vishnu, love to hear your take with the experience that you have, inspiring everyone to work up their way in the leadership ladder. There's always room for self-improvement, right? You can't just be the same person. You have to keep on tweaking yourself. Just one question. You were inspired by the head boys. What about the head girls? Huh? Huh? Can't believe it. Anyways, 2025. Coming on to the final depth, the depth of our brain. Now, I know it sounds like hyperbole, and of course it is. There is an ounce of exaggeration in this. But the reason why I've labeled this as the death of the brain is because scientific studies have shown that when you engage in reading, there are a plethora of areas in your brain that are activated. From the visual cortex, to the language barriers, to the frontal lobe, to the default mode network. Pooja, do you know where the temporal cortex is? I don't know either. But somewhere here. Right here, this little portion of your head, which for the most part goes unused, but when you read, sparks up, lights up. And that really makes us look at reading not just as a hobby, not just as a pastime, but as an exercise. We take care of our bodies by going to gyms. Well, some of us do. But in the same vein, shouldn't we take out time to take care of our brains? Away from our personal lives, away from our professional knowledge, to do something that really stimulates our minds in ways we've never seen before. That is why it is so important to find books to read. It helps promote sustained attention. The key word here is sustained, because in this day and age, to pay attention to something for a prolonged period of time is very difficult. Reading can help you get there. A stronger mind equals a stronger life. And what books do you need to read to get to this place? Anywhere. Read anything you want. I started reading when I was 24 years old. Very late. Up until that point in my life, I hadn't read anything at all. I know some people are confused. I'm very young. I'm not 18. I'm not 18 at all. I know. Can you believe I'm 33? It's insane. I know. I get that a lot. Thank you. Thank you very much. But I started very late. Even though I started late, I just found something that I wanted to read. At that point, it was The Lord of the Rings. Because I was so enamored by the movies, I told myself, wow, there must be something about the books that is equally gripping. And that's how my journey started. So find a place where you can start. Likely somewhere here where there is an interest for you, a field of interest. It could be in your professional life, it could be in your personal life, it could be history, but find that place and just start. That is what matters. Please welcome our third and final evaluator on stage, Toastmaster Aditya Patnaik.
Good evening, Bright Hearts. I thought my target speaker was going to make a dramatic entry, but she's already in the room. So she's attempting level 2 project 1 of her Pathway Dynamic Leadership. The objective of her project is to understand her leadership style and to bring some aspects out of that leadership style as well. So all the best to you. Timer, please note, the speech length is 5 to 7 minutes. With that, back to Toastmaster today.
On that note, let's welcome the final speaker for today's meeting. Please welcome Toastmaster Usha Kumari. Usha Kumari. My leadership style, Usha Kumari. All the best.
Thank you. Picture this. You are in a cruise in Barcelona, and the captain comes up to you and says, hi, everyone. My name is Steve. I'm sorry, I'm a little nervous, but I hope we all have a nice trip together. How would you feel? I would definitely feel like getting out of the cruise because I know my life is in danger. Now, imagine this. The captain comes up to you and says, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Steve, and I'm your captain for today. I hope we all have a great trip together. Enjoy yourself and have a great time. See you all. How does that feel? Great, right? Now that is leadership, reflecting confidence from your personality. Good evening, Toastmasters and dear guests.
Good evening.
Few years back, I was assigned to a project for a newly onboarded client in Accenture. I was supposed to handle a team of 10 dynamic people who were freshers mostly, and few were about a year and a half of experience. I would get into meetings with them. I would just get into the meeting and I would say, guys, so let's get into the meeting. This is the plan. This is the task. And these are the timelines. Now, let me know if anyone has any inputs or has any suggestions to make. The room would go silent. And I would wait for some time. And then one person would pop up and say, Usha, I think the task can be subdivided into subtasks so that it is good to have more clarity and it'll be easy for tracking. I made a note of it. And again, the room went silent. And after some time, on asking again, another person would pop up and say, Usha, I want to have another meeting with the stakeholder to understand the requirement better. I said, after a while, giving some more time for people to give their inputs, I said, great guys, I made a note of all the points. Let's see how we can make this work together. And they agreed. The energy was high. The team was engaged. And together, we nailed it. Actually, I was a little nervous initially to take up this project because though I was technically good, but I was a little nervous and anxious because this was the first time I was stepping into the leadership role. But we nailed it. The client was thrilled. And I was on cloud 9. You know why? Because I thought I have mastered the art of leadership. Time passed by and I took a career plunge. I moved to HP from Accenture. Now here, I had to lead a team of all men who had good technical knowledge, who had great opinions, and obviously more gray hair than me. I would get into the brainstorming sessions with them. And every discussion would lead into argument. I would ask for inputs. And then one of my team member by name, Romance. Seriously, I too had the same reaction when I heard his name. When I heard his name for the first time. But that was the last time I laughed. After that, he made my life hell. He would say, when I would ask for inputs, he would say, Usha, I think plan A is not the right way to proceed with this. And then immediately Jagdish would start. I completely agree with what Romance is saying. I think we should take the plan B. Plan B is the best way to execute. And then Hemant and then Rajesh. And soon the room would get into a heated argument. I would at times feel as if I'm just like a news anchor who's moderating a live debate between different political parties. However, all these discussions would delay my project. My style of asking for opinions was considered as my incompetence. And my opinions would also be considered as my suggestions. And then soon we realized then the project got delayed. The project did not move. The client escalation started pouring in just like the monsoon rain. And my morale was just crumbled like a biscuit which is dipped into hot tea for a second longer. The fault lied in my leadership skill. Mine is a democratic leadership. A democratic leader is one who takes opinions from everyone, who believes in encouraging discussions and mitigating arguments. Isn't it a great leadership style? I mean, who doesn't like to have a leader like this? But the disadvantage is when there are too many opinions, the clarity gets distorted. The deadlines are not met. And as a result, you would not meet your target. And this is what happened with me when I was in HP. On a flip side, when I was in Accenture, everything was smooth because people were having minimal opinions. So dear Toastmasters, I just want to say the lesson that I learned was leadership is all about tweaking yourself whenever depending upon the situation, right? For example, if whenever you have, because as you know that one size would not fit all, right? In the same way, leadership has to be tweaked. And this is what I learned from my leadership, that leadership is just like a relationship. You just grow, learn, and adapt because it is a journey. And remember, no one is born leader. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Usha, for that intriguing story. Romance sounds like an interesting person. Vishnu and I were talking in between. Is he a Malayali? Oriya. Oriya, okay. Interesting. Because it's a very Kerala name. Like if a Malayali hears a romance, they're like, okay. Only our people can come up with something like that. Nonetheless, thank you once again. On that note, let us now open up the polls. The poll voting link is bit.ly/BHTM vote 1. Let me open up the link for you. Right. Yeah. Everyone, please vote. Did you get it? Ah. Apologies, we are running 5 minutes late. I will just get the confirmation about how long the break is from our lovely president, which should be 15 minutes. Got it. Everyone, please vote for the best prepared speaker and please provide your meeting feedback as well. Priyansh, could you please close the door? I hope everyone is voting. Looks like it. How many people have finished voting? Raise your hand. If you have finished, you can slowly rise up from your seat and without making too much of a hassle, step outside for some snacks and refreshments. We've got 6 responses so far. So those of you who haven't voted, please continue to vote. We will now break for a break. Sangam, you can pause the recording. Welcome back, Bright Hearts and guests. Did you have a nice break? Some good chai and snacks? Lovely. On that note, I will end my time here on the stage with a few parting words. As I mentioned earlier, I'm someone who got into reading only 9 years ago. It's never too late to start. That is the first thing I learned. But more importantly than that, I'm here to tell you one final thing. I'm not here to convince you to read. I can't do that. At the end of the day, we all go through our own journeys. We all go through our own experiences. So when that time comes, you will want to pick up that book yourself. Now, if this meeting helped, great. But I will end with one last thing. As someone who was born as Akshay, I've not just lived one life. I've not just lived my life. through books from the very age of 24, I've lived the life of a man and a woman and a child. Through books, I've lived the life of an Indian, an Italian, and a German. Through books, I've lived the life of a Christian, a Hindu, and a Muslim. I've lived in 1600s France as a Huguenot, in the 1900s Germany as a Jew, and in 2000s Iraq as a Yazidi. I'm here to end by saying that a life without reading is a single life. But by slowing down the death of reading, you can live 100 lives. Thank you so much. And on that note, let me welcome the Table Topics Master of the Day. Please give it up for Vibhor Srivastava.
Thank you, Akshay. Dear fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. The purpose of table topic is to practice impromptu speaking, to developing our ability to quickly organize and express our thoughts. And what better way to talk about something many have forgotten, reading. Let me start with a confession. The last time I read a book was a meme on Instagram. Yes, we have gone from page turners to scroll burners. But let's not forget, reading is more than just books. It helps us imagine, focus, and slow down. Unlike the ephemeral content we scroll through every day. Today's theme, the death of reading, is our light-hearted way of bringing storytelling and thought back to life. As our table topic master, I will call up speakers randomly and give them a surprise topic. Timer, please note, green card at 1 minute, yellow at 1 minute 30 seconds, and red at 2 minutes. Objective is simple: deliver a mini speech with a clear opening, body, and conclusion. So this is the instruction for speakers. Each speaker must speak for at least 1 minute, but no more than 2 minutes. Try to use word of the day, ephemeral if you can. Table topic is open to members who do not already have a role in today's meeting and to guests. Thank you, everyone. Now I would like to raise your hand if you want to volunteer for a table topic thing. Okay. Member? Okay. Sneha? Okay, come. Welcome, sir. Sneha. Welcome, Sneha. Your topic is, do you prefer reading a printed book or scroll on your phone? Why? Do you prefer reading a printed book or scrolling on your phone, and why?
Okay.
All the best.
Good evening, everyone. That's a very interesting question. Do I prefer reading a hard copy of a book, a printed book, or scrolling on the phone? Obviously, what I prefer, what I enjoy doing rather is reading a hard copy, reading a story, getting into it, and living the life of the characters in the story. But what I actually do is scroll through the phone. Why? Why does that happen? I think the brain gets wired to quick content, like I think Akshay was also sharing earlier. So quick content with visuals reduces our creativity and rewires the brain so that you cannot sit and read and anticipate what is going to happen in the next page. What is going to happen at the end of the story? Can I guess the ending? Oh my God, what is this mystery that is happening? Can I guess that that gives a thrill, a joy that I do not get it while scrolling through the phone, but I still do that. Unfortunately, it's a habit. I do not know how to break out of that habit, and I'm looking for ways to do that. Yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Sneha. And I definitely know that we will break out this habit very soon because I have similar habit of scrolling every time, every day. Now, I will welcome another participant. Now, should I add guest now? Okay. Okay. I have Manjarika. Okay. Thank you. So, Manjarika, your topic is, would you date a non-reader? Would you date a non-reader? Manjarika.
Okay. Hello, everyone. So my question is whether I would date a non-reader, and my answer is yes, because we shouldn't judge anyone just because they read or not. And of course, if the person is a reader, it will be very preferable because we can exchange books, we can talk about the stories and explore more books as well. But even if a person is a non-reader, they have a lot of interesting aspects about them. They might be traveling, or they might be into sports, and I would always be able to be fascinated by the person's personality more than whether they are a reader or not. And one more reason why I would also even prefer to date a non-reader is because of the perspectives. Like, if they are not into reading, they might be into something else which is completely unfamiliar to me, and I will be able to learn more from them than if they are a reader and we are having too much of a similar personality. Thank you.
Thank you, Manjarika, for such a clear answer. Okay. Now I would like to call upon member. Pooja. Okay, come, Pooja. Pooja, your topic is, you read a book every day or something?
Unfortunately, every day almost.
Perfect. The book that changed you. Your topic is the book that changed you.
Okay. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, my fellow Toastmasters. The book that changed me was Constitution of India. So I wanted to fast forward all the books that I had ever picked up in my life. But that one book was never ending. It took me almost 5 years, and I had read it over and over again, and I had different perspective every time. Every time there was fundamental rights in different aspects. The writs, where your fundamental rights are violated when you apply them. So many cases, different perspectives. That is how I still read it and try to apply that in the cases that come my way. So yeah, I do read every day almost, either case laws, books, or something. And yeah, I do also scroll. Not that I have been able to escape from that. So, all right, thank you.
Thank you, Pooja, for a very clever answer. Okay. Now I would like to call upon again a member. Now we have okay. So new member, Mr. Akshay Ji. Please answer. Welcome, Akshay. So your topic is, what book would you recommend to someone who says they don't like reading? What book would you recommend to someone like me who says they don't like reading?
Are you a rom-com person? Are you a rom-com person? Great. Then, yeah. Yeah. If someone is not interested in reading books, they should read that only one book I have read, that is Two States. Yeah. This book talks about two people from different state get into IIM college, fell in love, and struggle to get married, struggle to get their career move forward. The guy wrote book, a novel on their life. So that would I recommend, because it did not add any value to my life. Or so I read Rich Dad and Poor Dad. That's a very good, interesting book. I would recommend. Yeah, that's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Akshay, for this recommendation. I bought this book 3 years ago, but definitely I will try to start first 5 pages from tonight. Thank you so much. Okay, I would like to add one more guest now. Okay, so Shubham, who is Shubham? Shubham is here. Yeah, Shubham, would you like to? Okay, come, Shubham. So Shubham, your topic is, what's more memorable, a story you read or a movie you saw, and why? What's more memorable, a story you read or a movie you saw? Why?
Hi everyone. So recently I watched a movie. Sorry, it's not a movie; it's a web series. Special Ops season 2. Okay, I have most of the year. So basically, actually, I love to watch that patriotic movies and all. So I basically recommended you guys to watch that movie because one of my favorite director, Neeraj Pandey. Okay, he's making so many good movies like Baby and Special Ops, and I don't remember more of the names. Okay, and so that's all. Thanks.
Thank you, Shubham, for today we are promoting the reading, and you are providing the Gyan of web series. But we will definitely watch as per your suggestion. I will meet you after this. Okay. Thank you, everyone. We may not have read a book today, but we have created a few fun chapters together. Let's aim to read more than just ephemeral WhatsApp forwards. Back to you, Toastmaster. Sorry, General. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Vibor, for the wonderful table topics. I always miss that. Whenever you take roles, you can't do table topics. But just one day I will. Okay, now, yeah, so this is not the death of reading, so I have to read out all the comments that I've written. But first, let's start with the speeches, right? The evaluations of the speeches. So the first speech was given by Prakash. The evaluator is Toastmaster Deepak. So let's give a round of applause for Toastmaster Deepak.
So Toastmaster Prakash, you can sit down. What a engaging, and I would say, I mean, I was sitting on my chair and thinking about what would come next. It was very thrilling experience to go through your speech today. What stands out is the story, the speech structure, the message that you gave at the end. The beginning, it started. You kept the audience engaged, definitely. It kept all of us hooked. I'm sure you all agree, or? Yeah. So these are the highlights, I would say. So it shows that you thought through a speech topic correctly, wrote it correctly, and practiced before coming here. You may want to work on a little bit more practice, because at one point you stopped for looking forward to what is my next content. So, and this all happens. This happens with me also. It needs a lot more practice than we imagine, first of all. And to challenge yourself, as of now, I'll just cut the clarity, cut the chase. As of now, you should focus on, practice as well as vocal variety. So the vocal variety would make us take your speech to the next level. It uses the tone, speed, and volume to convey the stories, context, feel, everything. So that you should work on vocal variety, and we talked about it last time also. But all the very best. I was really very, very happy to see your improvement this time. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Toastmaster Deepak. Timer, can I have the time for Prakash's speech and Deepak's?
Prakash, it was 6 minutes, 38 seconds.
Okay.
For Deepak, it was 2 minutes, 30 seconds.
Okay. So let me evaluate Speaker Toastmaster Prakash first. I think I agree with whatever Toastmaster Deepak said. The only thing that I would add is you started off saying, have you guys gone on a journey, right? Instead of that, better one to do is raise of hands, how many of you gone on a journey? Because you then can see how many of them are actually gone on a journey. So you get a feedback right away, right? That's the only feedback I have for you on the speech, but good job on the speech. Toastmaster Deepak, I think you hit all the points. You mentioned the highlights, you gave the feedback, the practice and the vocal variety. Those are the things that I had. I think overall, you had a very good evaluation. Thank you. Now, next is the speaker was Vishnu, and the evaluator is Toastmaster Madhur.
Leadership is not a definition. Leadership is not a formula. Leadership is a journey of experience. Today, we heard the speech of Toastmaster Vishnu, and I have experienced many highlights, but I would like to mention few highlights from his speech. Catchy start at the beginning. He picturized a moment of assembly where children are having a prayer and a confident head boy giving an instruction. And the second highlight, the structure of his speech. he mentioned how he aspired to be a head boy of the school. Head boy of the school. Then he became the head boy of the school. Then a team member. Then a team leader. And then assistant manager of IIM grads. We get to know how his leadership style has grown from his school days till today, and still he's having experience and learning. The third highlight from his speech was the humor sprinkled all around his speech from the start to the end. But Vishnu, I would like to challenge you on something that will make you from great speaker to a really great speaker. Is that I would love to have a little detailed conclusion, because I, as an audience, I was looking for a word, a term that will define your leadership style in specific from among the list. But you gave an idea how you have a mixture of leadership styles. But I would have loved to have a conclusion where you mentioned that. Apart from that, I really liked the flow. Your speech was flowing like a river. And I really liked that. To summarize it all, great structure, catchy start at the beginning, and humor sprinkled. And an area of improvement to have a little detailed conclusion. With that, I wish all the best to my speaker, and I love to see you more on stage. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Madhur. Toastmaster Vishnu, I think Madhur covered everything that I had. I just love your voice modulation. I should, someday capture that. But very good job, very good speech. Toastmaster Madhur, you mentioned the highlights, the feedbacks, and then in the end summarized, which was a good thing. You had that moment on the stage when you were talking about, the different stages of Vishnu's life, which was good. But other than that, I didn't see any much movement that you had around the stage. You were stiff in one place. So maybe move around a little bit, so which makes you, people engage the people more. Other than that, great evaluation. Now, the third speaker was Usha, who came in very late. Where is she?
Just in time.
I just dive, but oh, okay. Okay. So, and the evaluator is Aditya. So let's welcome on stage Toastmaster Aditya.
So good evening, Bright Hearts. Today, my speaker's presence has been absolutely ephemeral. I have not seen her more than a few minutes in the meeting. But overall, she has been a great storyteller throughout. So really cheers to her storytelling skills. She gave a lot of signs about her democratic sign of leadership. She gave us signs about being a chirpy and a very friendly leader. And coming up with names like romance, which I have not heard in a while, which feels like a movie character. Okay, so some of the highlights of Usha's speech. Great audience connect. She started off very well. A cruise in Barcelona is something that all of us want to experience. Setting the context was really, really good. Enacting the situation in the meeting room with the team members, and people having a lot of doubts and questions, and she coming up with the suggestions was another great thing. Humor sprinkled throughout her speech was another plus point. Clarity in her voice, I could hear her behind as well, so that's something to take away. And good amount of hand gestures and body language throughout the speech, right? So great, great speech overall. Some of the things that I would like Toastmaster Usha to work on is a bit more stage movement on the left-hand side. She was looking more towards the right-hand side. We have beautiful people like Akshay and Sayud sitting on the left, and you don't want them to deprive of your content. The second thing was a bit more audience interaction. I felt she would have interacted with the audience more, although she asked the question first, but That's again my feeling. And the third thing was, which is more important, was while she connected all the incidents, there were too many incidents that she narrated on the stage, but I felt that the conclusion was missing. What she could have done is she could have set the context that, look, my leadership style is democratic, narrated incident A, narrated incident B, and that's how she could have weaved the story together to say that, yes, this is hence my democratic style of leadership. So I felt that was missing. So overall, great storytelling skills, great humor, great content, great body language, hand gestures, a bit more stage movement, and trying to formulate a conclusion towards the end of your speech. With that, all the best to her. She achieved the speech objective of today, and looking forward to her next speeches. Back to you, Chandrika.
Thank you, Toastmaster Aditya and Toastmaster Osha. When you see the recording, I think Toastmaster Aditya covered all the points that I had. Just one thing, if that to nitpick, when you talked about going to HP and talking about more gray hairs and more technical, you did this, right? Instead of counting, could do 1, 2. This shows a loser, so sometimes not good. So just a nitpick for Usha. Toastmaster Aditya, humorous start. I just love hearing your evaluation. When you keep shut, you're funny. When you open your mouth, you're funny. Yeah. So you talked about the highlights, you talked about the feedback. Everything was good. It covered all the aspects. You had a little bit too much movement on the stage. So Madhu didn't move much, you moved too much. So other than that, I think a great evaluation. Okay, now for the remaining evaluations. So let me start with the meeting overall. The agenda was published on time. The roll opening was sent on time and people applied on time. The SAA came up early and set up the logistics for the meeting, which is great. The meeting theme poster was published a little bit late, but that's something that can be looked at. One feedback I do have to the VPE is, once the people take in the role, inform the others also that these are the roles that is taken up. These are the people taking up the roles, so that not at the time of the agenda, because sometimes you don't know who is taking the role. The others, not the role takers, the others, right? Then the other point is mentees, please do reach out to the mentors before Wednesday. That is very important so that you can do a better job at the role and learn how you do the role. Other than that, on the activities of the pre-meeting, don't have any other comments. Now coming to the role takers, SA Priyansh, Toastmaster Priyansh. You had lots of energy. We started on time. You started with a game and engaged the audience, which is great. And you talked about the housekeeping items that are required. Great work. Presiding officer, you talked about Toastmasters and Bright Hearts and the awards that we won, which is great. The best part is calling the guest on stage, which makes them feel more welcomed, which is great. And then Arna had the inductions, Toastmaster Arna had the induction ceremony. Okay, it was well-conducted induction ceremony. Well, only thing that she couldn't boss around people to hold their applause, people applauding. So other than that, it was great. Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Akshay. Today, I get to give feedback to both Arundhati and Akshay. So Toastmaster Akshay, your reading showed, the passion for reading showed in the role that you have taken. You started off with the engaging reading activity, which was great. And it also showed the research that went in for presenting that. But a great job, great engagement, and we all loved I could see the laughter, the humor. You had the humor, all that. Great job there. Now I'll call upon my tag team, which I forgot to call on. So I would start off, since I don't follow the books, I will start off with the S of the tags team, special role taker, Toastmaster Ilango.
Thank you, General Evaluator. One day, me and my family went to D-Mart to buy the groceries. After purchase, while exit, we saw ice cream shop nearby. I bought 4 ice creams, one for me, one for my wife, remaining 2 for my son, as well as my daughter. We started eating ice cream. My daughter eating slowly with enjoying its taste and fragrance, like that. Whereas my son eating fastly and he is about to finish. He unintentionally smiled. I tried to figure out his intention of smile. Meanwhile, my daughter slowly turned left side, is hiding his ice cream like this. We found his intention of his smile. Then he's finished his ice cream. He asked with a sad face, like, Daddy, finished ice cream. As a father, I sacrificed my ice cream. He's finished that as well. Like that, his mother ice cream as well. Then he slowly turned. I noticed what he is doing. Then he's continuously watching my daughter ice cream. Like this. Then what happened? While he's seeing, my daughter is noticed that one. He's slowly hiding and going towards opposite of my son. Then, you know what happened? My son started calling my daughter's nickname, like Moni. Then suddenly, my daughter took his ice cream and started run away like this. Then, what happened? Any guesses? Do you have any guesses? I'm not going to reveal. I'm leaving up to your imagination. I'm going to do one dance step. Try to figure out whose that dance is. Okay? Thank you.
Ilango, you are the joke master. Hats off to you. I love the way you have emotions. It's great. You know, the joke was good, everything landed, and we all were having fun. Good job. Now, let me call upon the grammarian, Toastmaster Pranav.
Good evening, everyone. How did you like the session today? Well, I too. So I already felt that there are a lot of stalwart speakers around, and hardly did I notice any wrong usage of grammar. So maybe I'll read out those wrong usage in a bit, but before starting, let me start with talking about the good usages. Some of the good usages of grammar included profound, which means great, ounce of exaggeration, how beautiful it is, enamored, I was gripped by, mentioned when something caught the attention, intriguing. From Prakash, I heard the good usage of English like transformative, nurture, solitude, resilience. There was good usage of pauses as well. For example, when Vishnu spoke his prepared speech, he talked about his team members started delivering by contributing, building, and then delivering the features. Sneha used, who was a table topic speaker, a good English, anticipate, fascinated. Usha said, I was in cloud 9, which was again a good one. My morale crumbled like a biscuit dipped in a tea, was again a good usage. The clarity got distorted when she was talking about her leadership things when she was managing a team. The Toastmaster Deepak talked about it kept all of us hooked. Again, a very good usage. The deprive of the content. Aditya mentioned when he was talking about the evaluation and he was giving feedback for not good usage of the stage while speaking. Now, coming to the not so good usage, it was not like very bad English, but nitpicking. For example, someone used he was calm, poised, and most importantly, having courage. Instead of having courage, it should have been he was calm, poised, and most importantly, courageous. Because it's a full past tense, and he was is like the beginner of the sentence. Somebody used she is slowly hiding when he was talking about the past that has already happened. Instead of is, he would have used was. So these are minor nitpicks. Now coming to the word of the day usage, I heard the word of the day being used more than 15 times. Akshay used it thrice, Arna used it twice, Vibha once, myself twice, Vibhor twice, Aditya once. So yeah, a great usage of great decoration of speeches with the word of the day, and overall very well use of grammar. I would like to end by saying that improving the grammar is a journey and not once a time thing. So keep continuing this thing in your continuous journey, and let grammar be your silent strength, always evolving and elevating your voice. So with that, I'll hand over to the evaluator. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Pranav. So the feedback for you is you had a good intro for the grammarian role. You've used the theme in your introduction. You've explained the role well, told how to use the word of the day, and the report that you gave had captured the good usage of the word and not so good usage. I was a little skeptical of honestly, I was a little skeptical of the word of the day, but kudos, guys, 15 times used, that is great. Okay, the next is the R counter, Toastmaster Vibha.
As promised, I am back with my R counter report. I would like to start with Sergeant at Arms Priyansh. Used 1 R, 3 repetitions, and 3 long pauses. Presiding officer Toastmaster Arundhati used 1 R. Anna took 1 pause and 2 repetition. Somil has a tendency of using R and 1 repetition. Toastmaster Pranav used 1 R. 2 repetitions. Guest Shubham took 1 pause. Guest Sanjana used 1 and a tendency of saying and. Guest Manjarika used 2 ums. General evaluator Toastmaster Sayuj used 1 and has a tendency of saying and. Speaker 1 Toastmaster Prakash Sahu had 1 repetition and 2 long pauses. Toastmaster Vishnu took 1 pause. Toastmaster Usha had 2 repetitions and has a tendency of saying I would, because, so, as, you know. Toastmaster Deepak used and has a tendency of saying Toastmaster Madhur had 1 repetition. Toastmaster Aditya used 2 repetitions. Table topic master Vibhor used thrice. Toastmaster Sneha used 1 and has 1 repetition. Guest Manjarika used 2 and has a tendency of saying and. Toastmaster Pooja used 2 Toastmaster Akshay used 1 1 repetition and has a tendency of saying table topic Akshay, like, yeah. Akshay and Ilango, you guys were flawless.
Congratulations, Akshay and Ilango. It's on there. Okay, Toastmaster Vibha, good report on the R counter. I love that. I love a detailed R counter report. Very good job done. Also, at the intro, you had a very good intro. You introduced the theme, inducted the theme into the intro, which is great. And you also explained the CRPF to people who are not there. So good job. That. Now the last of my tag team, Toastmaster Somal with the timer report.
Hello, everyone. So there were really good book recommendations today, and I was glad that I had read one, Alchemist. Okay, so I will quickly go through the timings. Priyansh took 4 minutes 33 seconds. Arundhati took 9 minutes 28 seconds. Akshay took 20 minutes 20 seconds. Sayuj took 11 minutes 10 seconds. Prakash took 6 minutes 38 seconds. Vishnu took 6 minutes 55 seconds. Usha took 6 minutes 54 seconds. Deepak took 2 minutes 34 seconds. Madhur took 2 minutes 33 seconds. Aditya took 2 minutes 35 seconds. Vibhor took 4 minutes 10 seconds. Sneha took 1 minute 27 seconds. Manjarika, a guest speaker, took 1 minute 10 seconds. Pooja took 1 minute 8 seconds. Akshay took 1 minute 4 seconds. Shubham, our guest speaker, took 38 seconds. And for the member ceremony, Arna took 8 minutes 10 seconds. Overall timing for Vibha was 6 minutes 5 seconds. For Pranav, it was 7 minutes. For Ilango, it was 5 minutes 7 seconds. And for me, it's within time.
Thank you, Toastmaster Somal. I want you all to give a big round of applause to Toastmaster Somil, Toastmaster Vibha, and Toastmaster Pranav for their taking the role for the first time in the class. Okay, the last but one role taker is Toastmaster Vibha for the table topics. You had a good intro for the table topics and let the guests know what the table topics are. You encouraged the audience to use the word of the day, which was great. And the topics that you used were pretty easy for people to talk about, which is great job done. Among the table topic speakers, I don't have anything specific, but I see that most of them try to incorporate humor into the speeches, which is great. And a special claps for the guest, Manjarika and Shubham, coming onto the stage and talking about topics the first time in a club. It's not easy. So good job done. Okay, so the only role player that is left is me. And I was fabulous. Okay, but if you guys have any feedback for the role that I have, please do reach out to me after the meeting. I would love to hear feedback. Yeah. We'll connect over a glass of beer. Okay, and with that, I will conclude my evaluation and and please take out your phones and vote at the link bit.ly. We have the bit.ly/bhtm vote 2. Voting link is can move that. There.
Yeah.
It's trying to do with it.
But just for the guest, it's the same as the previous one, bit.ly/bhtm vote 2. Instead of 1, just use 2.
Oh, here.
Oh, so I just changed the.
Ah, there it is. Please do give a thumbs up if you have completed.
We've got, just a couple of more responses.
Okay. Good.
No, just hold on for 30 seconds.
The guests, you're able to log in, get in and vote.
Right.
Okay, with that, I would pass the stage back to the presiding officer, to distinguished Toastmaster Arundhati.
Thank you very much, Mr. General Evaluator, Toastmaster Sayuj. I thought those were very apt feedbacks for everybody who played a role. So thank you for that. Let's give him a round of applause. Right. So we will first use the time to quickly collect some guest feedback, post which we have some announcements, the ribbon winners, and that's how we near the close of the meeting. So I'd like to ask our first time guests to share if they have any feedback. Let's start with someone who didn't probably get a chance. Would you like to, yes, would you like to come on and give us some feedback?
So I really like the energy. Also, whatever feedbacks that were given for the speakers is something that I can use as well, and found those to be very insightful. Overall, great vibe. Enjoyed throughout. Thank you.
Nikhil, thank you very much for that very generous feedback. I think it is also a very nice point that he mentioned is that these are feedbacks that anybody could use. So I think that holds good for all of us. We can all make use of these feedback. I'll take one more guest feedback. Would you like to come up and share some more? Nirbhay.
So this is my second Bright Hearts meeting. So today, the thing that I really liked much was its theme. To be specific, like just like because of him, we had to got to read some scripts and all, and yeah, that's it.
Thank you very much, Nirbhay. Always nice to hear from somebody who's come for more than one time. And of course, kudos to our Toastmaster of the day for an exceptional theme selection. I hope that you've read today on the screen and you'll continue this habit and continue reading, something that we should all look at doing, even if it's a minimal amount. On that note, we have the first announcement. This is for all the members in the room. This is really important. So like you know, every week, our secretary team publishes the minutes of the meeting on Thursday mornings at 10 a.m. The idea is for it to be one such document which can be used by all our members. Now, we've come up with a survey to hear your thoughts on what you feel about the MOM. These are all multiple choice questions. They will barely take about 2 minutes. So I'd request everybody to take out their phones, all the members, guests also who've whoever read our MOM, feel free to do it. Please type in bit.ly/BHTMMOM survey, and let's just take 2 minutes to quickly share our feedback, which will help the secretary office to make the MOM even more user-friendly. Anybody? I guess the Bhumika has the link on the group. Yeah. So the link is also on the members group in case you're having any challenges. Priyansh. Let's try. We have the MOM survey as well. Just check how many responses are coming. Maybe give a thumbs up once you are done, but just please ensure it's anonymous. So please do not worry if you said never for any question. It's okay. We wouldn't know it's you. We just want to do a pulse check. So please be honest and share your feedback. I can see Sayuj smiling the minute I said it's anonymous. Like now I can say what I feel.
Of the MOM.
I'm suddenly getting that exam hall vibe, like last 2 minutes. Now we've got all right answers. Okay, 30 seconds more. Are we good? Are most of us done with it? Yes, no, maybe? Okay. I love how Neville's smiling throughout this survey. I'm sure it's bringing back some nostalgia for him. He's like, I created that one. I know how it feels. And then Ruchi and Abhishek were doing group discussions while answering. Right, okay. I'm going to hope that all of you have taken this survey. If not, you can always continue submitting your responses after the meeting. And for all the members who've not made it to the meeting today, we'll share it on the group once more. On that note, we now have the results for today's meeting. So we'll quickly move on to the results, starting off with Best Table Topic Speaker. And the winner today is Toastmaster Pooja Barik. Congratulations, Pooja. Indeed, the Constitution of India did help you. So please continue reading. The only thing we need in return of this best table topic is if we ever need to use the law, we know whom to go to, Pooja. Charges come with membership at Bright Heart. Right, we move on to the best auxiliary role player. I think everybody did a tremendous job. A lot of new role players today. The winner is Toastmaster Elango Krishnamurthy. Congratulations. Congratulations, Elango. When Elango was doing that enactment, of course, it was hilarious. But what it did remind me is of my childhood days. It's such a typical sibling thing to finish yours and then try to flick from somebody else. So, Elango, I hope your kids watch this and see what their father makes out of all their practical life. Yeah, I know why your son's not here. We tell him next day, but well done. I think it's tough to make others laugh, and you did such a fab job. I can also see an actor within you alongside the speaker. So well done. Right, the best evaluator for today is Toastmaster Aditya Patnaik. Congratulations. Aditya, many congratulations. I agree that bringing in humor in evaluation is not that easy, and you brought that in. But what stood out to me were really your observations of Usha's speech. I think they were very helpful, and I'm sure Usha will watch the recording and she'll make the most out of it. So well done, Aditya. Thank you very much. Aditya is like, I don't know if it's beneficial for her. Okay, next up, we have the best role player, and the best role player today is Toastmaster Akshay Omen. Well, I think Akshay's already guest feedback kind of said that the theme selection in itself today was so fruitful. Akshay, thank you for bringing such a nice theme, something that really added meaning to a lot of us, gave some hands-on activity, and of course showed the mirror that how we are actually nearing the death of reading, and it's high time we act on it. I think every time you come on stage, you raise the bar higher and you show that Toastmaster of the Day is not just a facilitator. There's so much value add that can be done. Thank you and many congratulations, Akshay. Finally, the best speaker for today is Toastmaster Vishnu Pradeep. Vishnu, congratulations. I think I agree with Sayuj, of course. All of us like Vishnu's voice. I think we've spoken about that many times. But what today, at least for me from this speech, I felt it was very inspiring to see somebody's career journey, the growth, the way you've had your setbacks and molded yourself and got back up. A very true from the heart story. So well done, Vishnu. Once again, many congratulations. Let's give all our winners a round of applause. And our PR is smiling the most. So it's time we take a picture. Oh my God. Please follow the requirements. Yeah, right. Thank you. Congratulations. Many congratulations to all our winners once more. And a big shout out to everybody who played a role in today's meeting, be it the role players, the evaluators, the speakers, or even the tag role players. While we have winners at the end of every meeting, it is really every role player's contribution that brings about the quality of the meeting. And I, for once, loved today's meeting. It was so good. So well done, everyone. On that note, the challenge for today is that I'll close the meeting, but you all have to remain seated. So please don't stand up and get all excited. On that note, I hereby close meeting number 40 of Bright Hearts Toastmasters. What is the time? 6:45.